And we have the project ID, just a dummy one, and the address of the company. And there's the context of the document. We have business problem, the solution overview, assumption, risk, in scope, out of scope requirements, wireframes, technical design notes, estimated points and decisions. Okay, for the revision history, since we don't really have previous descriptions, I intended to put in the current, like the description of the project. So the description of the project is to develop an embedded lending system due to clients' requests to bridge the gap between businesses, lenders, and end customers. This project will aid individuals, or let's say clients, borrow money with simple clicks or forms to facilitate fast money transactions in times of financial difficulties. And the author of the project is me, Gideon. So I have some few stakeholders, or let's say members, or part of the. I should have put a lot of them, but I just put a few. And the partner hospitals, this to name just a few of them. That's South Georgia Medical Center, Kindred Hospital, North Florida, North Carolina Specialty Hospital, Western Massachusetts Hospital, Chester County Hospital. Okay, so let's go to the business problem. Individuals are borrowed for various reasons, which may include weddings, mortgages, cars, funerals, houses, and a whole lot. Clients or individuals have expressed the need to have a system to help them cut short the stress and challenges of going to a physical bank or let's say a financial institution to borrow money. Embedded lending is the latest in the line of receiving spotlight. Being an active subject of debate, many businesses believe embedded lending can increase their revenue. If the process of acquiring your loans are very long and lengthy, some people will just give up. They don't really have time to do it. They don't want to stress. So if it's easy for them, you get more people to sign on or even get to your business. And this can increase your revenue. This project has the potential to bridge the gap between businesses, lenders, and the end customer. This embedded lending project is focused on the area of healthcare due to client requests. Even though some clients have insurances, it does not cover all their expenses, which becomes a challenge. There are also some challenges clients face while trying to acquire loans to facilitate payment of bills or unexpected expenses, which may include time-consuming, lengthy processing, and sometimes pandemic constraints, which we are currently facing. There is a need for an embedded lending system to solve this problem or challenge. So with the solution overview, to solve this business problem, we implement an embedded lending system to aid the clients, customer, or less in this sector, we are talking about patients to borrow money with simple clicks and forms to facilitate this quick money transactions without entering a physical bank or let's say institution, financial institution. This project will have the potential of bridging the gap between businesses, lenders, and their clients. The system will remove the need for using third parties. The system will offer a seamless learning experience to users. It will save the costly infrastructure as it happens at the back end with simple API calls. Credit risk for some transactions are eliminated as the lender has access to clients' financial or credit history. Based on these analytics, the lender can set the amount to be disbursed as loan. Looking at the history, you know who is trustworthy and all that. The lender, this project will be directed to healthcare to help, as I spoke earlier, to help clients to fulfill their needs during loans and their unexpected short-term revenue shortcomings. This project will eliminate complex lengthy processes of acquiring these loans. Okay, with my assumptions, we assume that the project should be simple and user-friendly, since it will be used by different kinds of people and should be updated frequently to meet patients' demands. With the risks involved, that can be involved, or I assume be involved with this project, is that we might have challenges with hackers. Every financial institution faces this challenge. with hackers trying to break into the system to steal or redirect the money. So to prevent this, I propose strict or effective cybersecurity practices to prevent this from happening. Another one is data loss. The database of individuals or patients can be lost due to any other reason since it is the internet. I suggest a backup plan or data recovery implementation in case this issue happens. And complications. Not everyone or user is familiar or has experience when it comes to tech or technology. And due to this, some may face challenges trying to use a system. So I propose there should be thorough training offered to the users or patients to prevent any implications or challenges using the system, because it's not everybody who can use this system. So I propose after the system has been learned or something, there should be a training for people to get familiar with the system. So in scope, ability to display the client profile or information, such as the username, phone number, email address, identification number, display payment transactions. The user should be able to view receipt, the total procedure cost in the range. That's like $300 to $40,000, like Nana spoke earlier on. Amount requested, amount paid by individual or commitment amount. Procedure on transaction date, not more than 60 days. Hospital name and hospital address, details of the doctor, list of participating banks and addresses. And also a digital signature should be implemented and personal identification data. So out of scope, I would say that ability to chat with customer support in case a user is facing some challenges, you're able to chat with someone who will help and support, and also install maybe a SIM. That would be like a site to monitor the logs. So we'll move to the requirements. With the requirements, we need to introduce a list of major components of the system that will help facilitate a successful embedded lending system. And these may include, first, we build a provider portal. On the provider's portal is where the borrower's application will begin. On this portal, the borrower submits some details and information that will help the process of acquiring loans, such as name, phone number, email, total procedure cost, amount requested, procedure date, hospital name, cities, state of the hospital, name of the doctor. Without these details, it will be difficult for you to proceed to the next level. So you need all this information. Build the lender portal. On the lender's portal is where we have the participating banks who provide the finance. There may be a list of banks where the broker can choose from. The company takes 60% and gives 40% interest rate to the participating banks. With regards to agreement from both parties, all these details will be monitored on this portal. Build a service portal. This portal plays a role like an operations team or administrator portal, where we monitor several applications done for the day, monthly, weekly, yearly, and so on. Also, see amount issued out, procedures coming up or done, applications in process, destination or source. Also build a borrower portal. On this portal, we log in to see the amount that the borrower borrowed, auto payment, a document that has been signed, review all documents, payment history and balance, etc. As part of the process to develop our product, we will need some detailed requirements that will serve as a core function that will enable the system to work effectively. When an individual fills in all the details requested on the forms, the data is submitted. We send a text message and an email where we will have a link embedded to allow the patient or individual to click and redirect to a secure page that will allow them to do a two-factor authentication to verify and validate and send an OTP, one-time password that will be 4 digits. After validating, I think I missed some data over there. Okay, after validating the OTP, we request the patient to send their social security number, that's the 9 digits, and then proceed with the application. We run a credit check score for the individual to know who we are giving the money to. And we have to give to credible people, of course. We will only work with individuals whose score is over 700, not less than 700. The interest rate will be 15% if deducted by us from your account provided. You get a discount of 1%. But if paid by the user, the payment is made in full. You can log in back to the portal and pay monthly depending on how much you borrow. This depends on how much you are willing to pay. The repayment has a period of 2 years. Log in and sign up. The username should have alphabets, minimum 5, maximum of 12 characters. Password, combination of alphabets, 1 special character, should have a minimum of 8, maximum of 25 characters. In case of a lost password, a reset link is sent to the email address to help recover password. Okay, so this is something that I propose for the wireframes, just for the website. We have the provider portal, lender portal, service portal, borrower portal, some sign up form over here. With the technical decision and all that. See, the embedded lending project should be user-friendly with a detailed and creative user interface. The process should be easy and save time. Okay, so thank you guys. This is what I have, a brief summary of what I did. Hello?
All right. So questions, guys, if you have any question.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Gideon.
Yes.
So my first question has to be on the administrators portal. And you captured something in the out of scope. I didn't understand why it should be under out of scope. So ability to chat with customer support in case of challenges or difficulties. I believe this was a main feature that was communicated, that the administrators should be able to do, or the administrators of the admin portal should be able to track and monitor applications made on the lending system. So
okay.
Clarify why.
Okay, then I probably made a mistake. I didn't put you on the right place. I thank you for the correction.
Hello, Gideon.
Yes.
Yes, sir. This is Reed.
Okay, Reed.
Congratulations for the presentation. I beg, can I see the BRD for the ABC Financial Service?
Financials? I didn't get your question.
Yeah, this is your BRD for the Harmony Finance.
Yes.
And I thought it's supposed to be ABC Financial Service.
Oh, I just thought of giving it a name just to be creative. That's I just sort of thinking some creative.
Okay.
Yes. So just say you can just take Harmony out and put ABC.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Just I remember that watching the going through the videos and also the session we had with Sam. He made it clear that we actually are building this for ABC Financial Service. Yeah. So seeing another company's name on it can be a bit tricky. Nonetheless, great job there. Great job, bro.
So, Gideon is also a reminder for you. Gideon, Reed is, I think Reed was speaking, right? It was Reed. Okay. He's reminding you that you have to, there are different sessions you can be creative, but when a stakeholder give a requirement, you cannot change the name. You cannot say, this is my preferred name or this is the name that I want to use. Right?
Sorry, but I thought, okay, I didn't know I should have maintained the name. I'm sorry about that.
All right, guys, any question, anything you want him to, clarify for you? sort of expand on.
Hi, Gideon.
Yes.
Yeah, can you scroll through to the last page for me? I want to. This is the last one.
Yes.
Okay, I think I saw something. Can you go up a little bit slowly?
This one?
Slowly, please go up. Please go.
Okay.
It's okay. I wanted to be sure. You see where the wireframes are, the header for the wireframes?
Yes.
I think, can you scroll downwards a little bit? It's on the 7th page and the wireframes are on
Yes.
the 8th.
I think when I was exporting to PDF, I forgot I should have let the header move down. So it's just a mistake I made. Yes. It's a mistake I made it. While I was presenting that, I realized I should have shifted the header down.
Down. Okay. So can you go up a little bit? I think. Please go. Please go. Go. I saw something in there. You can go. Go. When I see it, I'll let you. Please go.
Keep moving.
So. Okay. So with your risk, you actually explained the reasons why you stated these risks.
Yes.
Can I find out why you actually stated the reasons why? Or you just wanted to explain the...
Okay, he was like, we should list some risks and also some methods of preventing this risk. I don't know if I'm right, Nana.
Okay.
So that's why, yes, I gave some risk and also propose ways of mitigating those risks.
To prevent it.
Yes.
Okay. And in your assumptions, you wrote, we assume the project should be simple and user-friendly since it will be used by different kinds of people. Like the different kinds of people using this project of yours. Can I get a clarification on that? Because it is stated here that the project should be simple and user-friendly since it will be used by different kinds of people. Who are the people you are talking about?
What I was trying to say is that, since it's patients, the age difference that they'll be using this will be, I don't know the age limit though, but not everybody, not everybody will be good, and the aged too might be using this. So if it's a bit complicated, they will have some challenges. You get it? So it was about the age gap. Yes.
Just so I can like help you understand. I just wanted to put it across that I think the document would be used by mainly the stakeholders, right?
Okay.
And it wouldn't get to the main users. They would just see the finished work of your project, but they would actually get to go through your document. But the people who will actually go through your document is the stakeholder, being Mr. Boating. He and his co-stakeholders would go through your document, and you, as you are presenting to us, so would you present to them. So that's all I wanted to put across. But I like how you have arranged everything, and it's very clear. It's very clear, and I can even read everything that you've. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Very, very nice and simple. You've done very well.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
All right, Gideon, thank you for your presentation. Let's move on to the next person. Who's the next person? Take over.
Okay, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So my name is Salim Abdullah.
Good morning.
And I'll be presenting my work on the business requirement document for ABC Financial Group. Okay. So ABC Financial Group is an embedded lending financial institution located at 1599 Memorial, DRSC, Atlanta, GA 30317, United States. That's the address. This is the table of contents of my BRD document. Although I'll say a few of the headings were not included in this initial draft because I tried to focus mainly on the requirements. So yes, there is some work to be done there. So yeah, the revision history, this is the first of its kind, the initial draft made by me. There are no approvals yet, so the approvals are blank. So I'll be waiting for my first review from the stakeholders. So the business problem, as described by the stakeholders, is that ABC Financial Group, currently an embedded financial institution operating in the home improvement industry, whereby they operate with two businesses, that is Lowe's and Home Depot, in which these companies, when a customer comes to buy an item and they cannot pay upfront, they are recommended to us so that we give them a loan and then they pay back the interest later. Basically, that's it. And after observation, ABC has found out that in the healthcare industry, in the fields of veterinary services, medical, or should I say cosmetic procedures and dental services, it seems that the insurance companies do not primarily issue insurance over there, and there is a market there to be captured. And so they have taken measures to move into that particular industry. And that is the reason why they have reached out to us. And so, yeah. So going forward, they plan to partner with healthcare providers who will carry out the aforementioned procedures. So that is their goal. And also they will be partnering with banking institutions who will help co-finance the loans that they are given by creating escrow accounts. And these banks will enjoy a 40% share of a 15% interest, which they will charge on all loans. And also, they also plan to partner with XYZ Marketing, which would help them to get more healthcare providers on board with the system. So currently, they need a platform that would serve the providers, the borrowers, also the operation team, that is the services, and also the financial institutions which they'll be partnering, that is the lenders. And these are a list of medical institutions which they've already gotten some healthcare providers to sign on board and would be the ones which they'll be beginning this project with. So in the state of Georgia, in Atlanta, these are 5 companies that they've planned to start with. In the state of Florida, Tallahassee, this is also the 5. In the state of North Carolina, Raleigh, this is also the 5. In the state of Massachusetts, Boston, this is also the 5. Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, this is also the 5. So an overview of the solution. So given their problem, we intend to create a platform which would make use of the MongoDB as our databases when we are creating a databases, and we'll be deploying it using a serverless infrastructure, which is the AWS serverless infrastructure. And the platform should have dashboards for all the various actors so that at least they can track the vital information that they may need, also as are required by any sort of law or any sort of compliance issues. So we are assuming that the ABC Financial Group already has an already existing infrastructure as mentioned by the stakeholder. So as the stakeholder mentioned, they have an address that is abcfinancialgroup.com. So primarily, most of the platform that we are creating would be integrating to the already existing platform that they have. So we'll be integrating to their homepage and would be adding the new services to the services menu, which I assume already exists in their homepage. And so that services menu should take a link to the new health financing page, and then it will give a description of the services and also other information that people who click and are interested in that information would need. such as maybe the lenders and the borrowers and maybe the healthcare provider, at least they can get some information about the services on the websites. And so, yes, we'll also be checking their credit score. So we'll be checking their credit score with Equifax, and also relevant information about the client and also the provider, such as the name, the mobile email addresses, should be captured. So initially, there should be a sign up of the patients from the provider portal, which is then sent to the portal, the borrower portal. And when all the requirements are met and the borrower is successfully registered, they create a new login credential that is capturing an email and a password. So that is basically the initial setup for the borrower as the primary user. So yeah, so the dashboard of the provider portal going forward should have a way to sign up the new patient, a list of patients approved for the loan, show also the approved patient's current balance, which is deducted as treatment expenses arise. That is because maybe the procedure, although it's one procedure, could be broken down into various procedures in one. So maybe, who knows, maybe after the first procedure, something is determined, and so the patient may not need the next procedures due to some reason that may occur. So maybe the deduction is not just done one time, but as their schedule for the treatment, the series of treatment, as the first one comes and the deduction is made, the second one comes and the deduction is made. But then that does not affect the balance in the escrow. The escrow is there. So yeah. So the lender portal should also have links and tabs that show the amount placed in the escrow account. So they should know how much their escrow account is due to maybe the deduction that is being made. But going forward, I was thinking maybe that would not necessarily be the case, since they would be managing their own escrow account. But nonetheless, we may try to implement that feature in the portal. Also, the total interest that they are being paid, and also the loans that have gone bad. So at least reports about these should be available on their dashboard. In the dashboard of the borrower should also have information linking to basically the loan amount they've taken, the payments they've made, amounts that is due, the due dates, etc. Basically anything that has to do with the payments, also a way of automating their payments, and also they should be able to see any agreements that they've signed, and we should also be able to capture their personal details. The services portal should show the recent activity of the operating staff, the number of approved loans, those pending, those that have been reviewed. Also, we're assuming every servicer would be given a loan account to monitor. So you don't want to see the status of the loan account, that's the approved applicants, and how they are faring on paying their loans so far, so that if there's any reports to be issued to upper management or any other section of the institution, they do so. So the business rules, as mentioned, there's a 15% flat rate on all the interest charged on the loan amount. So it doesn't matter what loan it is, it's just a 15% flat rate. Also, there's a 1% discount on automated payments activation on accounts, which is recalculated whenever it's initiated, because we want to encourage the automated payments at every point, as mentioned by the stakeholders. So it doesn't matter if they initially set it up or they set it up later. Once they set it up, the discounts, as far as the business policy is concerned, should be reflected. So the requesting amount on loans should not be less than $300 and no more than $40,000, as mentioned by the stakeholder. And there should be a rejection of applicants with a credit score less than 700. So that should be a bit automatic. And payments should also be done within a period not exceeding 24 months. That could be equivalent to 2 years. Also, the procedure dates on all applications should not be more than 60 days from the application date. So you can apply for the loan today and have your procedure in, let's say, 61 days even. It should at least be within 60 days. And also the escrow accounts by the bank should be maintained at $600,000. So that should be at least the total balance to start with. And as reductions is being made, it should be top up to get to the $600,000. And all defaulted payments are repaid back with just a 15% dollar markup, as the stakeholder mentioned as we met. So basically, this is a diagram that shows how the initial process would work, that is considering the borrower. So initially, the borrower is signed up through the provider portal. So that's where the initial sign up comes in. And so that's when then the borrower can get to their borrower portal, and then their social security number is checked through the servicer portal, not necessarily like this, but servicer portal through the Equifax API. And that information is sent through the servicer portal so that there's either rejection or approval, because we are checking for the credit score. So I think that should be a bit of an automated process, because if you are below 700, I don't think we would have any sort of, so far, as the stakeholder mentioned, there's no sort of leniency to argue your case that although you are below 700, you should be given the loan. So once you are below the 700 cutoff point, there should be some sort of an automatic approval or approval rejection, depending on where you find yourself as far as the 700 cutoff point is concerned. So I do think I should have added a few assumptions and risks, but I did not. So I apologize for that. So in the in-scope of the platform, the first one is that it should be a web-based platform. We are not concerned about mobile devices. It's basically a web-based platform. It should be hosted on Amazon Web Services. All business rules that we've mentioned earlier should be accounted for in the application, mainly the business logic. Also, there should be a borrower portal, provider portal, servicer, lender portal. There should be dashboards for the various portals and links to relevant pages and relevant information. There should be databases for the healthcare providers, the partnered banks, the approved borrowers, because if you're not approved, you don't necessarily need you on our database because we are not working with you. So the approved borrower should be on the database. So there should be a means to extend the access to the servicer portal to the current and maybe future staff, because as I said, we're assuming that they already have a system in place. So they already have staff. They already have staff which are working with these systems. So the portal should integrate these staff accounts. Maybe they already have staff access, so we have to integrate it into the system, and that will be with the servicer portal. So yeah, the business layer should account for all the business rules. So the initial sign up of the patient is by the healthcare provider, and also there should be security features to protect the identity and private information of borrowers, such as their social security numbers, and that is done through the OTP verification. And also we try to capture all information relating to the loan. That is the cost of the procedure, the amount that is supposed to be catered for by the borrower, the amount also they are requesting for. There should be a use of username and password for logins of the borrowers into their accounts. We're also integrating with the Equifax API for the calculation of the credit score. We'll also be integrating with Tulio for the OTP services and other messaging services. We'll also be integrating with PandaDoc for the digital signing of agreements, so that it's all done online. And also there should be a means of generating reports and notifications. All lines are adhere to all the regulations and compliance concerns which the business would be tasked with. So yeah, they should be able to digitally sign all agreements. That's with the PandaDoc. And when an account is tried to be accessed 3 unsuccessful times, the account is logged. So with the loan, with the borrower, since we don't want to create a new borrower object or a new borrower row in the table every time the same borrower may come for a loan, the way to address, although we'll have to go through the procedure all over again, what we do is we issue them with a new loan account number. So basically their database or their role would be they'll have a new loan account column or new loan account field, in which will be like a many-to-many field where they could have many or the one-to-many field in which they could have many loan account numbers. So it's the loan account numbers, which is the key element here to tracking their loans. So yeah, so there's a bit payment gateway integration using authorized.net. And since authorized.net accepts MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, and the others, it makes it easier. So that's why we are integrating with authorized.net. And also we should give them a means of automating payments. And also we should have data restrictions to sensitive information. So that's where we have the access level. So the lender portal may not access certain information. The borrower's portal may not access certain information, although they might be working from the same database. Certain information is not sent across. So yeah, so we have to also account for integration with the pre-existing systems, infrastructures, databases. If, as I said, the staff may already have their own database, so maybe would have to account for integrating our platform with such a system or such a database. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the initial sign-up is initiated on every loan request. So no matter whether you've taken a loan before, you have to go through the initial sign-up process as I showed before every time. And also the project must have a working version in 6 months. Yeah, I think that is what I put in the in scope. Out of scope is we will not be accounting for the next of kin to the account. So there should be no next of kin to the account. That was the only out of scope I gave it. So requirements, I began with the functional requirements, and there should be a database for the lenders that I've already mentioned. And in this database, there should be a unique ID for each of the lender or the lending institutions. We should capture their name. We should capture password or access key, so that's what we use to log into the accounts and view the information. Also, yeah, the escrow and then the interest. All this information should be captured in this database. So the provider should also have a database with a unique ID for each provider, so that yeah, we can track them quite easily. Also, we should capture the name of the provider. There should be a username, a unique username, the location of work, the place of work, the email and the mobile number. The borrowers also have a database for their first name, their last name, and there are also restrictions. The name should only be in alphabet. That's for both first and last name. There should be mobile numbers, then mobile, and the mobile numbers should be pre-populated. Okay, so yeah, so the first information, that is the mobile number, first name, last name, the email, and the email, but the email also following the basic structure of an email. So if it doesn't follow that structure, it's rejected. Yeah, so these 4 information is provided by the provider. So the provider provides this information through his portal. So it is automatically populated in the borrower's portal. So they don't have to really put in this information, but then obviously the information would have to be checked before it is accepted, and it must meet all the criteria. So they can't change these information once they get to their portal. And so the username field should only accept alphabets, and there should be validation of not less than 5 characters and not more than 12 characters. And usernames should be unique. And also there should be foreign keys to the providers table, because we want to link the relationship between the 2 tables so that yeah, we can see where we are getting the treatment from easily to check. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the loan account numbers, as I mentioned, should also be there. And then optional middle name field, which can be now. Yeah, so as I said, there should be a loan account number on every new loan generated, which will also be a database, and there will be links to the borrower, healthcare provider who is taking care of this particular loan or who is accessing this particular loan, as well as all the transactions that's done on that loan account number. Yeah, so basically we should have a login button in the top right of the homepage. So probably this will also be an integration with the already existing web page, so that we could have like a separate login box or login option for the various users as the provider, lenders, and the services. And when they try to log in, as I mentioned, the third attempt, even during the attempt, there should be some sort of the report generated. And so, yeah, so when the account is blocked, they try to access it with an OTP code and a link in their email. So there'll be an instruction in their email. Basically, there'll be an instruction in their email for resetting accounts or unblocking the blocked accounts. As I said, we'll be integrating to the services menu. The lenders will have to log in with the bank's name and then the access key, which could be a password or a login key. And yeah, in the lender's login, there should be a drop-down field so that they could select the bank name, so that it's not like they're just providing any name. So they have a list of names. That way, if maybe they get the name that has been registered wrong, they can go through the list and pick their name from the list. Yeah, and then they'll provide the password. The password will not be given. They will have to know that from who we are dealing with. So the lenders portal basically just shows information relating to the escrow account, the interest that has been paid on the loan. That's the 40% on the loan that is accrued to the bank. Also, we have to give information about loans that have gone bad, and also any other reports which by law we are required to give to the banking institution should be automatically generated from our database and sent to them. So the servicer portal should display a tab that shows the team member or the operating member's approvals for the day, week, month. So basically, it shows his operations. Yeah, if there are any other loans that need further review, the need further review kind of applications. Maybe they may have beaten the credit score, but certain information have some issues. Probably it will be flagged by the system. Yeah, definitely will be flagged by the system, and maybe that's when the servicer portal comes in. So generally with the credit score is automated, but if there are certain issues which don't necessarily relate to the credit score, that's when the application is flagged for further review, and then the servicer who has been assigned that account then has to check and make sure that things are done well. So they have to get all the information. Yeah, so as I said, the credit score is automatic. It's an automatic rejection or approval. That is if they have all the fields and all the requirements and the credit score is also good, then it's an automatic approval. If the credit score is not good and they have all the fields filled out well, it's an automatic rejection no matter what. Yeah, so this basically lists how the provider portal works. So it has a dashboard and the bank that helps them to, with a button that helps them to initially sign up a patient. So yeah, so the initial sign up comes from the provider portal, and the borrower cannot access a loan if the provider does not do the initial sign up first. So the initial sign up must come from the provider. You can't just initiate the sign up process on your own, as the stakeholder mentioned. So the initial sign up form that the provider will be filling should capture the first name, last name, the optional middle name, mobile phone number, the email address of the patient. And also they should obey the rules I've already stated in terms of the length validations and all that. Yeah, so the details are pre-populated. Now the tabs. Yeah, so they should be able to have a list of the approved borrowers in their dashboard so that they could access. So there should be a link so that they can see the approved borrowers and who they can start deduction from to work with. So they'll get a notification, obviously, yeah, they'll get a notification, but then they should have the list there so that they know that, okay, with my 3 patients, I'm good to go on the deduction on the escrow. Yeah, okay. And so with a deduction from the escrow, they don't just go and I'm thinking they don't just go and remove money from the escrow account willy-nilly. So there should be some sort of check to make sure that, okay, the patient that they are withdrawing from is a patient that is actually in the approved list relating to that particular healthcare provider. So there's some check there to make sure that the patient is in the approved list. And when that is true and the amount they can't just withdraw an amount that exceeds the loan amount. So all those fields are checked to make sure that they don't just withdraw anything from the escrow. It's done by some sort of procedure, some sort of way, organized way, so that at least there's some checks on how they withdraw from the escrow. And so, yeah, there are notifications that is sent for successful withdrawals. This also reflects in the borrower's database so that in the borrower's portal and dashboard, we know that, okay, yes, there've been some successful withdrawals on the loan so far, and I'm good to go on the treatment. So yeah, after initial sign up, the OTP message is sent to the patient's mobile phone, and using the Twilio services, which has been integrated, they then put it in and get the access. But then when the code is sent and they've not used it, after 30 minutes, it should be immediately deleted. So that's, yeah, so after 30 minutes, if you've not used the code, it should be deleted. And also if you use the code, it's also deleted. So yeah, that is also there. So yeah, so when they have the OTP done well, that's when then they get to the form where they have to send their social security number, which is supposed to be a 9 digit, exactly 9 digits. So it checks to make sure it's exactly 9 digits. And if they get it wrong, they get the error message. They can't proceed any further. The credit score is then sent to Equifax, which checks the social security number and checks the credit score. And when it is less than 700, automatic rejection. If not, then they go forward. And when they are signing for any sort of agreements, they use the PandaDoc integration API for the digital signing or signings of any sort of documents. So when they approve for a loan, they get issued a loan, the new loan account number as mentioned earlier. They are also given a prompt when they sign up that they would receive a 1% discount if they do the automated sign-up procedures. Yeah, so yeah, the username should only be alphabets and validators. Password also should be a combination of at least one number, at least one special character, and alphabets with a minimum length of 8 and a maximum of 25. So yeah, borrower dashboard should show the amounts and basically what I've mentioned earlier. There should be an integration to authorize.net. That's to capture all the payment messages. So basically, after you fill the form, you are redirected to authorize.net, and that basically handles the payments. Yeah, and yeah, so authorize will handle all the payments. We'll just give you the form to fill, and then authorize takes over that. So whenever the automated process is added, the 1% discount is kicked in. And as I said, there should be messages about due dates which are coming up, successful payments, payment defaults, and basically there should be messages sent to the borrower's page so that when they get into their dashboard and they have there's some information that should be relayed to them, it pops up and it's sent to them. So with the non-functional requirements, I went with the accessibility of the page, at least the process mentioned especially with the initial setup, at least it should be able to be done in 3 minutes, let's say for a fast user who knows that his way about going about this, at least within 3 minutes, they should be able to start and finish the process. And since we might be handling a lot of people concerning the services, the borrowers, the providers, lenders, at least 2 million users should be able to be hosted on these sites without any sort of issues. Maybe the number might be revised later, but for now, that is what we're starting with. There should be access on the web page for people with disability, because basically we are working with patients. So yeah, we have to adhere to the accessibility issues or accessibility policies of creating websites so that at least we account for all those with disabilities of various forms, whether it's vision or body disabilities. Also, we would embed analysis tools into the software to track its performance, as well as other analysis tools to check the customer performance. And also how the website is behaving. Basically, we just want to know that our website is running smoothly. Yeah. Also, yeah, the software should be, we are trying to launch it within 6 months, at least have a working version in 6 months. It's a web-based application, and this is the original site, abcfinancialgroup.com. So it's hosted on the cloud on Amazon Web Services. The front end should be in line with the already existing structure, that is Angular. The back end Node.js, and also we are building with REST APIs in mind. So basically, that's the direction we are going. REST APIs. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we have access keys and access to data. Basically, when you request data, there should be some sort of tokens being used on the database to check access. So maybe with the lenders, borrowers, so maybe there could be a session access also in there. So yeah, basically that's what I was going for. I did not have any wireframes, and since there were no decisions made, I made those blank. So thank you all, and that is the end of my BRD document.
All right, so questions and whatnot for for him.
Hello, Salim.
Hello.
This is Daniel speaking.
Okay, Daniel.
So what I'd like to point out is the, I believe the header for your document. If you can scroll up a bit, I believe it's a template document, but you can rename it to the name of the project. So, for example, requirement document template. Maybe you can rename this to the project.
So I shall really rename it to healthcare finance, or is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Oh,
this
okay.
Just a template. If you can scroll down a bit to, I want to highlight.
Okay. Well.
Yes. So the business requirement document template. I believe here so you can rename it to the intended project name.
Which one?
Business just.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
all these ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I get you. I'll make a note for that.
That's it. I wanted to.
Thank you very much. Any more questions, please? Or contributions to help my project?
Don't be afraid to ask him, questions. I know in my April batch, people were a little bit, skeptic. They didn't want to ask because they don't know when it gets to their turn. They don't, when it gets to their turn, people will also be bashing them with questions, right? So they didn't even want to ask at all. They didn't want to ask. And then I had who I think Isaac. Isaac was asking a lot of questions, but as for him, when he gets to his turn, and when he presented and people were throwing him questions, now he didn't want to take any question from anybody.
Hello, Nana.
Yeah, so
Hello.
go ahead and address the presenter, not me. You address the one who's presented.
Nice one, nice one. Salim.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations on your presentation.
Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Reed.
That's some work there. I was impressed with the technical requirements area. It was nice.
Thank you.
There was information in there. I just have this as a tip for you. Okay. You know, personally, when I studied the template that Sam gave to us, okay, I realized that it is very useful, especially with the tabulation of things, as in putting things in tables. Your requirement section, that area, if you manage to put your content, okay, into tables, and then give them IDs, that kind of stuff, the way Nana did, trust me, it's going to be much more presentable. And then adding to the quality of the information is going to make it really brilliant. All the same, I say, well done, bro. Well done. I've taken some tips here for my own ERD remake. So obviously, I'll be making corrections in mine, based on what you guys are, showing to all of us. So thank you very much and well done.
Thank you very much, Reed. Your points are well noted. I'll try and get it down. Thank you.
Hello, Salim.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is Iman Olavi. I think you've done well, but I think from the beginning we were prompted. I don't know if you saw it, that if you could speak up a little, and I'm sure it's all part of the presentation skills. In as much as it's a Zoom presentation, we are unable to see each other, but I would say if we were in a physical room together, maybe you would be presenting to how do I put it? You will be presenting to yourself because you'll be looking at your material alone. I could hear you, but we were not audible enough, because I think it's all part of it to be able to speak up and present your concept so that you get the people to follow with what you are doing. I must confess, I dozed off. I'm a little tired, so I dozed off. I couldn't get me engaged, but all the same.
Yes, it's all good. It's all good.
Thank you, Dan. Well, the little I saw was good. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so I believe that's it for Salim. Salim, thank you. I really appreciate you putting information on the non-functional side on disability and accessibility, etc. I know some years back I consulted for CDC. I was, an engineer for CDC, Center for Disease Control, way back, and there are a lot of, federal, guidelines, compliance guidelines, especially if you're building any kind of federal applications, etc. You need to adhere to what they call the 501c or something like that. And it's all about disability, accessibility, because you have a lot of people sort of assessing that portal that is being built from different states, different area, people with different needs, etc. So you got to make sure that you're building something that will sort of take care of everybody, whether they are able or disabled, right? So that's very, very important. So I really like that part. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, let's go to the next question.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I'm to present on the Embedded Finance Learning Platform BRD document for ABC Financial Group. So ABC Financial Group is located at 555 Pine Street Avenue. Here's my table of contents. We are looking at the breakdown of what I'm going to present on. The very first on my list is the business problem, and we move on to the solutions overview, the assumptions, the risks, in scope, out of scope, requirements, technical design on notes, estimation points, and decisions that were taken. So with my revision history, and what I have in there is that we are to look at the enhancement, which has a detailed explanation of the in-scope features of the business process in the borrower, provider, servicer, and lender platforms. And I'm the author of this change description. With the approvals, we have an approved for review by our very own Nana Boateng. So I'd like to go through our business problem, and we go into the in-depth content of my business requirement document. So with our business problem, we have clients are unable to finance their medical healthcare service because traditional insurance providers do not cover some medical surgery and procedures. Hence, clients are unable to seek their needed healthcare needs. And this is a challenge or a problem a stakeholder has presented before us. And after interacting with the stakeholder, we came to a conclusion, we came to a decision on the way forward with what we are to do. So we look at the solution overview. With our solution overview, we have to solve this business problem, and we will build an embedded finance or lending platform to make medical health insurance options available to clients with various healthcare providers to finance their medical procedures that they are unable to. So to look over or to go through the assumptions, these were the assumptions that were given to me by the client. These are the features that the client listed. These are the features that the stakeholder wants as a part of the embedded lending or finance system. So we look at build an embedded finance or lending platform to enable clients to access loans to finance their medical procedure. And two, we look at build 4 platforms, borrower, provider, lender, servicer, to enable all stakeholders to access the loan information. So this platform is not only just limited to the borrower who is trying to access the loan. We have all the stakeholders having their own, should I say, tab, having their own access to the system to get the required information. We look at this was a listed requirement by the stakeholder that client loans should range from about $300 to $400, and loan decisions are taken instantly. We move on. For procedure costs more than $40,000, you need to find an alternative financing plan. And also, the breakdown of the total cost of the medical procedure should equal the amount being paid by the client, that is the person who's trying to access the healthcare, and also what is being given by the lending institution. So I have a breakdown of this formula, that is the cost of medical procedure equals the amount paid by clients and the amount the client needs to top up to what they're already providing. And we move on. So the book procedure dates cannot exceed 60 days in advance. So once you are trying to make an application for your loan, once you are trying to send in a request for your loan, you cannot choose a date 60 days ahead of your application date. And the following information should be inputted into our provider platform. That is the city, the zip code, the state, the address, telephone number, and the name of the doctor, the one who is providing that medical service. All this is information about our medical healthcare provider. We move on to the information that is the client is supposed to input with email address, password, personal identifiable information, and social security numbers. And all this information should be inputted by the borrower or client that is trying to access the loan. And we go over the logic of our lending system. So a credit score is run on the client, and only client loan application with a credit score more than 700 will be accepted. So this is the basic logic behind our loan decision system. So we move on. The interest rate on every client loan is set at 15%. And also with enrollment on the auto payment option, the client receives a discount of 1%, hence an interest rate of 14%. So self or manual payment still remains at 15%, and with our borrower portal, and these are the information that are inputted, or these are the information that is gathered. So you have the amount borrowed, the auto payment option, whether I set on or off. You have signed documents and agreements. We, as per the interaction with our stakeholder, all documents should be digital. So we have signed documents and agreements, payment history, balance, recurring payment, future date payment, personal details. All this information should be captured in our borrower portal. We move on. So the servicer portal provides the following information. So the amount issued, the application status, the number of applications per day, week, and month, and analytics and data. So the servicer is supposed to be the, should I say, the intermediary to perform checks on the loans, to monitor whatever application is coming in, and if further information needs to be gathered from the client, further information needs to be collected from the client. The servicer is supposed to be that operations or admin team that is to reach out or to contact the client for that information. We move on to the very last requirement on my list here. The lender portal provides the following information. So the participating banks, the loans per day, per week, profits, interest. We look at quarterly, annually. All this information is being gathered in our lenders portal. We also have the year-to-year comparison. So whatever information that is coming in, we are going to, this information is going to be presented in a visual dashboard that can be easily consumed, can be easily understood by our lenders as well. We move on. So ABC Financial Groups, it shares interest with participating bank in a 60-40% ratio. So ABC Financial Group takes about 60% of interest that has been generated, and the participating banks, the lenders, take about 40% of interest that have been generated. So every participating bank has to deposit 500,000 USD into an escrow account. The repayment of the loan is done over a 24-month period or 2-year period. So we have a partner marketing company, XYZ, that signs up hospitals or health institutions to be a part of this embedded finance or lending platform. And we have, and this disbursement is done directly to the provider whom the procedure is scheduled with. So whatever money is needed to finance the medical procedure is done directly into the provider's account. It's not done into any other party's account, but the provider. And this is another assumption that is stated here. We are expecting a user activity about, you can expect a user activity of about 500 users trying to sign in concurrently. So you can expect so much traffic coming in at one point. And also, we are to ensure that disaster recovery testing is to be implemented to ensure a contingency plan. And our application is built on the following architecture. So at the front end, we are looking at AngularJS. At the back end, we are looking at Node.js. We are implementing a two-factor authentication with Google Firebase. We have a serverless architecture that AWS is powering. And as a listed assumption, we have ABC Financial Group that has a partnership with 5 state capital hospitals. So I've listed a number of hospitals here. We have hospitals in Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. All these hospitals are hospitals that are part of the initial launch of the project, the initial planning of the project that we expected to be onboarded to provide this medical health service. So I'd like to go through the risks. So what are the risks to be expected as part of the build-up of this project? So the very first risk I have is the death of a client. So once a client dies, what is to happen? So as a listed response, we have dead persons are not liable for loans, hence loans are written off. The very second risk I have here is when a client is unable to fulfill a loan obligation. So at times, so much can be happening in people's lives. They can have they can be in a very bad or messy financial situation. They can be in a sticky situation and they are unable to meet that loan obligation. So once this is to occur, loans goes into collections and collection agents are taxed for the recovery of that loan. And also to add to that, once you're unable to fulfill that loan obligation, you're that's likely to affect your credit score. So in future applications of loans, unfortunately, you won't be able to meet that required credit score. We look at our very third risk here, healthcare service delivered by medical providers. At times, we see it in training in our media houses that doctors performing surgeries and unfortunately things go wrong and the patient loses their life due to the doctor's negligence. So we have captured that as a risk in our platform. We don't want we are looking at all we are looking to check everything that is likely to fail in our system, and we are looking to find a proper response for that. So with that, ABC Financial Group is not liable to medical procedure and surgery. With our very last risk that I stated here, you have issues with ABC Financial Group software platform. So there are times whereby we have a bit of problem with your business application, your business platform. We are looking at technical issues with our application. So we have miscalculation here that is listed as a threat to our platform. We have cybersecurity threats, we have errors, we have payments. So as a listed response to this risk that has been stated here, we have ABC Financial Group. There's the risk of losses due to system and application failure. I'd like to move to our in-scope details, which I believe has been already been captured. These are the core functionalities. These are the core features of our application or platform. And I'd like to do an in-depth explanation of whatever platform or application we're building. So with our very first point here, we are to develop, test, and implement enterprise embedded finance or lending application platform. So that is our very first objective. That is the, shall I say, the core goal of this project. And we look at many other features that forms a part of this core goal. So we move on to create a borrower platform for the borrower or client to apply for a loan. So this is another feature that we are looking to integrate into our platform. Also to create a lender platform for partner lender banks to view financial data. So whatever money is credited into the escrow account, whatever money is going out, whatever revenues and profits are generated, we are looking into having a portal or platform for a lender to view this financial data. So we also create a servicer platform to serve as an admin or operations team platform to support client application process. So we would like to monitor, we like to track the application status of our clients' applications. We would like to do checks and reviews and get back to clients that have a bit of issues with their application documents. And we can do that with the use of our servicer platform. Also, design and document all relevant state end-to-end business processes and procedures. So we would like to capture our end-to-end business procedures. We would like to have an understanding, we would like to have an in-depth analysis of whatever is happening in our system, the breakdown of every business process and every business flow to give us a general overview of what our system is supposed to do. So we'll do testing. Testing will cover end-to-end application, procedure, hardware testing for deployment, performance or stress testing, operating system, and training and delivery testing, and business continuity or disaster recovery testing. So we are looking at incorporating testing. We wouldn't like to launch a system into our production that has so many issues. We are looking at all tests that are possible to reduce the impact, the likelihood of that. So our very next in scope feature is to enable clients to fill their personal information and personal identifiable information to the information that is required here is the social security number in the sign-up process. Our decision on the loan process will be made on this data that is going to be pulled out from this social security number. So our next in scope feature is to implement two-factor authentication, where a 4-digit code is sent to verify and validate our user. So the user that is going to apply for the loan would like to validate and authenticate the user to ensure that whoever is applying for the loan is the right person. We move on to we enable a medical provider to fill in their personal information in the provider portal. So the information that we are looking at is the hospital, the city, the zip code, the address, the telephone number, and the doctor's name. And also implement a credit score check on client's credit score based on the social security number with the Equifax service, and it will only allow clients with a credit score more than 700. So the next thing we have as part of our in-scope features is to implement an interest rate at 15% on every borrower's application. And also we implement a 1% discount on borrower loans with the auto payment option set to on. So we are to implement the following on the borrower's platform as well. So the borrower's platform comes with the following features. So personal identifiable information, the bank account number, the signed document, the payment history, balance, recurring payment, future, all this information is captured in the borrower's platform. So with our next in scope feature, we have integration with debit card, PayPal, Android, and Apple Pay payment portals on the borrower's platform. We are looking into integrating all these payment options as part of our borrower's platform. Our next point is to the integration with Equifax on the borrower's platform to run a credit check on clients, and this is to approve or deny our loan applications based on that credit score greater than 700. So we are implementing a servicer portal with the following features. So application status, we like to know the application status of our clients or borrowers, the amount issued, the applicants per day, per week, and per month analytics, and we have a data dashboard that gives us a summary of whatever information is generated. And also we have to add an admin and operations team to support clients application, loan application, performing phone calls and email checks and validation on loan application process. So we are to also implement a lender platform with the following features. So we have the partner or lending banks, the loans per day, per week, per month, revenues, profits, interest, analytics, and a data dashboard in quarterly, annually by annually, and year by year comparison. So we are also to compute the repayment of the health service loan over 24 months or 2-year duration. So the customer, the client, the borrower should have a breakdown of whatever they are to pay within that time frame. And also we have to compute for ABC Financial Group and the lending bank the profit returns in a 60-40 ratio, where ABC Financial Group receives 60% of the profits, the lending banks receives 40% of profits. We are also to create an escrow account where every participating bank or lending bank deposits that balance of 500,000 USD. So we are also to implement a lending amount cap of 300 USD to 40,000 USD in the borrower's platform. So these are the limits, these are the ranges that the borrower is able to apply for that health insurance loan. So out of scope, these are features that are not going to be the core part of our functionalities, but we have also features that we are likely to have a look at. And so our out of scope feature is to develop and build an enterprise, mobile, embedded, and finance or lending platform. So this wasn't listed as a core feature by our stakeholder, but probably in the future project planning, we can discuss about the possibility of adding that. So we go into the technical requirements of our project. I've already gone through it, but this takes into key consideration technical details that needs to be captured by all stakeholders so that we have a clear understanding of what the system is to do. So implement 4 portal access types. You have the borrower, provider, servicer, and lender. And also set clients' healthcare loan amount ranges from 300 to 40,000 USD. Deny future booking dates for medical surgery or procedures for days greater than 60. So days that are greater than 60, we are not looking, the system will just anyone trying to choose a day greater than the day stated. And also implement credit score checks and validity of client application loan using the social security number and Equifax. Also approve client loan application with a credit score greater than 700. Deny client loan application with a credit score under 700. Implement a default interest rate of 15% on client application loan. Implement a discount of 1% with an auto payment option enabled. Implement integration with debit card, PayPal, Android, and Apple Pay on client payment portal. Implement a dashboard with the borrower personal and loan information. So these are the information captured: amount borrowed, auto payment options, signed documents and agreements, payment history, balance, recurring payment, future date payments, and personal details. So implement a dashboard with a provider and personal information. So these are the provider's personal information that I've already explained: city, zip code, state, address, telephone number, and the doctor's name as well. Implement a dashboard with the client application loan information. So application status, amount issued, applicants per day, per week, and per month, analytics, and a data dashboard. Also implement a dashboard with a partner bank or lender finance information. So all this information is going to our lenders and partner banks. So participating banks, loan per day, per week, profits, interest, that is quarterly, annually, and year-by-year comparison. Implement a logic computation to share profits between ABC Financial Group and a partner or lender bank in the given ratio. And also implement computation of loan payments over a 24-month or 2-year period. And also implement the following system application architecture. And for our front end, we have AngularJS, backend Node.js. We have two-factor authentication, that is with Google Firebase. And with our serverless architecture, we have AWS. We move on to our technical design or notes. And so with our technical design or notes, we have to review business requirement documents and to ensure all stakeholder features and functionalities are captured. And this was the summary notes of our BRD document. So the core, the core aim of this document is to gather the core functionalities of our features and then review it. So I come to the end of my presentation on ABC Financial Group BRD document. Thank you.
All right, so questions for Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, can you go to page 4 of your document?
Page 4.
Yes, please. Okay, cool. I wanted to clarify, is it an already existing website you're creating, or it's like a brand new website that you're creating based on your document?
So based on the information I gathered from the stakeholders, a new web platform or web application that we are building.
Okay. And to my second question, it's like you are building a web platform or an application.
Yes.
Is it a web application or a website?
A web application.
Okay. And on the same page 4, can you scroll? Oh, okay, we're already at the number 12 of page 4.
Yes.
Yes, so it says self or manual payment remains at 15%. I wanted you to clarify what the self or manual payment means, because in page 13 it says The borrower portal provides the following information, and all the information of the auto payment and the other stuff are stated there. But in the 12, it says self or manual payment. I wanted you to clarify what that means.
So what self or manual payment here means is the payment by the borrower or the client that is seeking that medical healthcare service. So when they decide to go for the option of paying it themselves, not an auto debit on their account, they have various platforms that are integrated that they can choose as their payment platforms, but they can offer to do the payments themselves to ABC Financial Group. So when they do that, the interest on that loan stays at or remains at 15%.
Oh, okay, but I think if you made it at least maybe self or automatic payment, I think it would have been clearer. But I understand from your explanation what it meant, so it's cool. And I wanted to find out what system would be used to sign the documents. The borrowers, they would be signing the documents electronically. So what system would be implemented for them to sign the documents?
I captured it under the assumptions in the borrower portal. So you have signed documents and agreement, which I explained further that these are digital documents. The stakeholder has explained that he doesn't want manual paperwork. So all these is going to be digital documents that are going to be forwarded to our borrower or client.
Okay, but like, what would they use to sign the document? Like, what system or what tool would they use to sign the document?
Unfortunately, I was not able to gather that requirement stated by our stakeholder, but make sure to make the changes that you are using PandaDoc.
Okay, and I think based on the list of assumptions you have stated, just like from my point of view, not to like say anything, just from my point of view, I think what you stated under the assumptions could have been under a different header, if you understand what I mean.
Yes,
or should I clarify?
Oh, you can go on to clarify, but I realized that it shouldn't come under that heading.
Okay. If you understand that, then I am okay. I'm okay with that, because I thought it would have been under a different header, but the assumptions has also the assumptions you stated, some of them should be included and they are there rightfully, but most of them are also supposed to be under a different heading. So that's okay if you understand that. Can you scroll down to the 5th a little bit for me? Okay. And for some of the states you listed in there, I think a header would have been nice if you you placed that for the states and the hospitals partnership. But I think it is under the 25th the number 25th ABC Financial Group partnership with 5 states capital hospitals. It wouldn't be like you wouldn't just know that these are the right, like it just aligned to the 25th, or it's not so. The states you've listed, the hospital states you've listed, is it just linked to the number 25th on your page?
Yes, it's a follow-up of the 25th point.
Oh, okay, but I think it could have been stated much better if you had a heading, just to clarify, so that if you just see the document, you would know that like this is under this. But if you get what I mean, you wouldn't have to just think it through that this is just under that. And just to add to it, can you scroll a little bit for me?
Okay.
Yeah. in the states you listed, I saw you pinpointed some of the capitals, but not in all. So in Georgia, I don't see the capital of Georgia. I see the capital of Florida in there, but it has a hospital attached to it. So I don't see the capitals linked to the states. So if you could clarify why.
If I can come in,
Yes,
with
sir.
the hospitals we have in the respective states, some
Yeah.
hospitals are named after the state capital. So that's why some of the hospitals, you see them
Yeah.
and bearing the name of the state capital, but I'll further add that information to the various states.
That's cool. That's cool. But I like how detailed your project is. Just that a few things you would need to clarify. You need to clarify a few things for the stakeholders, but it is very detailed as well. Just that you need to add up a few things to make it that better. But as it is right now, it is great. So good job.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
All right. If there are no more clarification points on what let's go to the next person. Thank you. Thank you for the great presentation, Daniel.
But Nana,
yes,
I wanted to ask for you to clarify something for me. Is it that we are building a web application on a new web page, or you stated in the stakeholder meeting that it would have been like an already existing website and that we are just upgrading it? I wanted you to clarify that for me.
You already have it on an existing platform, so this is an enhancement, right? This is going to be an enhancement.
Okay.
All right, who's the next person? Let's go.
Penelope.
Oh, yes, I'm here. Hold on. I'm trying to share my screen. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. So sorry about that. Hi, my name is Penelope, and I will be presenting on ABC Financial Group. This is an embedded learning project with a third-party hospital affiliations. This is the first version, and so to start with, these are the hospitals that ABC has affiliation with. They have branches in Georgia, in Tallahassee, in Pennsylvania, and North Carolina, and Boston. The hospitals that they work mainly with is Wellstar. In Tallahassee, they have the Hope Hospital. In Pennsylvania, there's Mayans. In North Carolina, they work with St. Jude's. In in Boston, they work with Grady. And then this is the table of content. We have the revision, the business problem, the solution overview, the assumption, the risk involved. In scope, there's the out of scope requirements, wireframes, and design and estimation notes. So I speak a little bit on what a BRD is. It describes what a company wants to achieve through vendor collaboration. And in this BRD, ABC Financial Group desires to add a new platform to their business website. The initial revision took place on the 11th, and Penelope, I'm the author. Approvals, we have Mr. Samboati as a business owner. That's he's representing ABC Financial. We have Mary Lou as the executive sponsor, Antoine as the project manager, and then Elizabeth as the subject matter expert. The business problem, I speak on ABC already having a fintech platform in place where they finance weddings, they finance cars, home improvement. They work with Lowe's and Home Depot, and they are focused on expanding their horizon into the health sector right now. They're looking to provide financial support for surgical operations that are not covered by the traditional insurance. It includes pet care and like other plastic surgery procedures. ABC intends to add a new capabilities to their platform to make a smooth transition between the borrower and the lender. And this transition will be triggered with the assistance of medical practitioners that ABC is in affiliation with. So once the borrower goes to visit the doctor, if there are any procedures that the insurance cannot cover, that's when the ABC platform will be recommended to the borrower. The solution overview, I speak a little bit on what the medical, the provider portal should look like, because it's a doctor's office. They don't have time to deal with anything that is extremely, tech savvy and very difficult to navigate. So I just came up with like an easy to access interface where they'll just need the doctor's last name and then their department code as their username. And then their password should be a minimum of 8 to 25 characters. There should be like a password recovery failsafe should the provider forget their logins. And then I put that an interface is a connection between two systems. So this system right here is a connection between what the doctor will see and what's the word I'm looking for? What the doctor will see and everything else that goes into the back end. But then it's not here. But I'm just saying like this is what the provider will see. And once the whole process has been triggered, the borrower would need a valid phone number and to authenticate, because when he or she is filling the application in the doctor's office, they need to put a valid phone number, because then we're going to send them a code, like a one-time password, to complete the application beyond the doctor's office. The borrower would need his PII, like his personal information. So the code includes an embedded link that takes the borrower to a secure page where they may fill out their application and provide personal information such as their 9-digit social security number. This number is used by Equifax, FICO, and TransUnion to verify their credits to see if they're eligible for the whole fund transfer and everything. The borrower should have at least a credit score of 700 and above to be instantly approved. And I
can you hear me? So,
yeah.
So I think your audience are saying something. As I'm reading from the message. You guys are saying what he should, she should change to the page view. So if you can change to the page view, so that that they'll be able to see it.
Hold on. Is it better? Is it better now? Is it better?
Hey guys, you guys will have to speak. Is it better for you guys? Yeah, you guys are saying that she should change to something. So
yeah, I think it's better now.
Okay, sorry, I'm using like a really big screen. Is it?
Penelope. So yeah, so yeah. I think the problem. Yeah, I think it's coming clearer now. It's a bit better.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, yes.
Penelope.
Yes.
You're using Microsoft Word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to do with, can you put it into print view? And then you expand the font, come to the bottom right corner.
Okay, so I'm using like a monitor. I'm not using my laptop. That's why it's coming out this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can. Is it better? Like, can you see it better now?
I think we managed, though the appear still small.
I was also thinking.
It appears small.
Really small. Can you check the top part of your Word document where they've written, I think, read all in. When you click on that what do you call it, drop down. I think
this is okay, but zoom in a little bit.
Okay.
So you can zoom now so that we can.
Yeah.
Is it much better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry once again.
No problem.
Yes, I'm not using my laptop. It's connected to a monitor, so I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is nice. Yes.
This is better. This is better. Way, way better.
Okay, so sorry once again. Let me just yeah, the customer would need a credit score of 700 and above, which in order to be approved. So this is like an example of what the one-time password would look like when they put in like a working phone number. And this code should expire after 24 hours. In some cases, it should expire after minutes, but mostly we can extend it to like 24 hours. So I put that the target audience is adult aged 18 and over. So I feel like the platform should be very straightforward to navigate because 18 and over could be 18 to 75 to 80. And the software or the platform should be operable on any device because a lot of our aged, they're not tech savvy, like we've stated so many times. So it doesn't matter if you're using a desktop, a laptop, or a smartphone, you should be able to have access to the platform wherever you are. I put that regardless of the operating system that you have, you should be able to navigate the website as well. And the borrower should be able to check the status of their loan and make payments through their accounts. The site will inform the borrower of their 15% loan term charges, that's their interest rate. And the borrower instantly receives a 14%, sorry, I meant to say 1% reduction on their loans once they're enrolled in AutoPay. So the 15 is going to drop to 1. That's what I meant. And the monthly installments will be calculated for each loan. The loan must be repaid within 24 months. And I integrated here that, so when I spoke to the stakeholder, he said he wanted a platform like Affirm or Klarna. And some of these platforms have like systems where you can pay off your loan in like 6 payments. So I integrated here that you can do that payment and you're not going to incur any interest rate. So that's what this whole diagram is about. And the assumptions, to build a strategy, make decisions, and plan business assumptions are facts that we assume to be true. So before any loans or lending agreement between the borrower and ABC Financial Group, it's believed that ABC already has connections with these lenders and hospitals, and because that's what will start the whole process. There should be a signed agreement between ABC and the hospitals that they're going to be in affiliation with. The Sarah portal should have been carefully reviewed and approved before any procedures and amounts can be disbursed. The lender portal must have several financial institutions as participants. So, okay, so what I was trying to say here is that ABC is going to be in business with like several banks or, financial institutions. So there should be, some kind of agreement between them. There's going to be a split of 60-40. That's between ABC and the lender in terms of interests and profits, that each participating bank in various locations deposit at least a $500,000 in an escrow account as part of the lender portal fund, because those funds is what's going to fund the projects that we're working on. And funds will be allocated respectively to participating providers, that is the hospitals that we'll be working with, and that we assume that in case of an emergency, ABC will not be held liable for. So what I meant to say was in case of sudden deaths or in case something goes wrong in your procedure, ABC will not be held liable because all we did was give you the money. Whatever went into the procedure, it's really none of our business. So risk is the possibility of a threat actor exploiting a vulnerability by utilizing a threat against its is referred to as risk. So what I meant to say here is that ABC should have should at least cover security basics with their employees before any of this, platform can come to life. So basically, holding regular workshops and, teaching their employees the basic cybersecurity fundamentals, how to prevent the systems from being exploited through phishing and all these, all these latest cybersecurity attacks. So basically, if they hold regular workshops and they're updating their employees on all the on current trends, ABC will be safe. And I also spoke on having like security policies in place. Like there should always be a fail-safe. We should back up regularly. We should have like redundancies on in various both physical and cloud locations just to be safe. And a lot of financial institutions confuse compliance with cybersecurity. So the fact that ABC is in compliance with the laws of the land, like they're not selling the customer information, they're being secure with every detail that their client, the borrower is loading onto their platform. It's it's necessary. It's not necessarily cybersecurity. So again, this can be done by reducing people who have access to client information, where we're going to introduce the principle of least privilege. Like if you're not of a certain rank, you can't have access to certain kind of information. That's what I meant here. And in case of a loss, like in case the asset, so the asset in this situation is the borrower. So in case the asset dies or there's a complication, we can mitigate that loss through like annual like counseling their debt. So that will be done like annually. That's what I meant to say here. So the end scope, we're going to have like a provider portal. This is where the borrower's application begins. Platform for the borrower. This is where the customer or the borrower would have access to their information, their accounts, to know how to make payments and what like it's just going to give them an overview of every single payment they've made, their balance, and whatnot. And I said the borrower will need a one-time password when creating his account. The borrower will also be able to make loan payments through this platform, a user login. To gain access to their online platform from anywhere in the world, the borrower must create a username and a password. The applicant must use a legitimate first and last name. This includes their current residential address, and they must have like a working phone number and their current email, because a lot of information is now sent, via email, and so every single detail should be something that's working. So the maximum amount per applicant is $40,000. So each borrower is entitled to an amount between $300 to $40,000. The procedure cannot be scheduled more than 60 days in advance. That's what I wrote for in scope. And for out of scope, from my understanding, I said it focuses mainly on the features that will not be included on the platform. So even though ABC has a lot of things that they want to integrate on this new platform, we can only focus or prioritize on the basics, the necessities. What is going to help us deploy the page over the given time that we have. So I said that we are going to integrate the Moscow technique, where we literally pick between like the stakeholders' ideas and then prioritize on the things that are more important, and focus on the rest as we grow with them. So ABC Financial's main priorities to gain recognition in the American market before expanding its horizon to other countries. So as of now, the platform would only be accessible in the States. And as we grow with them, like I said, then we would have like an international audience. So with the requirements, from my understanding, I say requirements that will be required during the commencement of the project, that it should be atomic. Like every detail and information about the platform's construction should be straightforward and precise. So if the stakeholder wants a letter B or a letter C at the top right corner, like it should be straightforward. We just need to do what they want. It should be uniquely identified. Like at every stage of the design process, we must have like a unique identifier that lets us know that, okay, so the design phase has been complete, the user interface phase has been complete. That's what this means. Also, every requirement should be complete before submission. Who and what login specifications are needed? at the time of login. A user would need to create a username and a password to have access to their online account. Make sure the platform is working and functional as it should. Like before deployment and everything takes place, we should make sure that we've crossed all the I's and dots all our T's. We should be consistent and unambiguous. So staying consistent requires the analyst to work from one phase of the project to the other. When working on any project, steps are an essential requirement. Every step should be clear, right from collecting data from previous works to planning and dissertations, as well as documenting and communicating with SMEs and PMs. So what I was basically trying to say is that right from the onset, when we speak to the stakeholder and we know what he wants us to address, we just need to, we must have like a plan in place that is going to help us navigate through the whole building of the platform successfully. We must prioritize, like I said in the previous page, we must learn to, defer, some features that cannot be completed at this set time. And we must make sure that the platform is testable and functional before it's deployed. The technical design, it elaborates on the programming language that will be integrated when developing the app. So we can use programming languages like Java, Oracle, and other languages when designing the platform. The decision that this platform should be designed by the 20th of this month, and building and development will commence 3 weeks after the design phase. Testing should be in effect no longer than January of 2022, and the deployment and release of the app will be sometime the first week of February. I just put some information in there. So that is the end of my presentation.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, now questions for her. And you guys know that this is the only lady here, right? So you guys have to be nice with her, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Because I have some pointers for her.
I don't understand.
Me too.
No, I'm not saying that don't ask her a question. Go ahead, ask her a question so that she can get better. But I'm just saying that be nice with her, right?
Okay. Penelope.
So who's gonna go first? Okay.
Oh wow.
Penelope.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Reed here. Once again, well done.
Thank you
for your presentation. The content is rich, it's okay, it's informative, yeah, very useful. I found one thing that could be worked on, and that is energy. Yeah, though you're a woman, this is business, presenting a business requirement, you need to wow your audience. It's a room full of decision makers. So we're trying to simulate that atmosphere here, and I think it's one element that was that can be worked on. Yeah, and that's energy. Yeah, energy in the voice. I actually like the way you made it chatty. You didn't make it a read through. It was chatty. You touch on items, on sections, and then you take your time to break things down. I must confess here, it's something that I did not do much in mine. If I actually did any, I actually did more reading than explaining things. And so I think you did explain some of the items, and it went well with me. The assumption section, yeah, I think I was happy about that. I actually learned things there. I'm making notes here to review mine. The risk session. Can you take me to the risk section, please?
Okay. Do you see it?
Yeah, I've seen that. Good. This part, the risk, yes. I think so far you're the only presenter who has actually presented a mitigation section by your risk, which is commendable. I was actually taking my time to read through to see what I can collect from there to put into mine. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, failure to cover the fundamentals is nice. I also found that the risk, I think the first two were basically about security.
Yes.
Yeah, about security. And then the last, obviously, though you did not make it clear, but from your explanation, it came out that it's about the person, the borrower, just in case the borrower passes out through the process, then it becomes a loss to the company that gave out the loan. Yeah. Once again, so the way you explained things, that actually got me very involved, and I followed really well.
Okay.
So thanks for the education.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Thank you too.
Okay. So Penelope.
Yes.
Oh, there's someone else. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's cool. Can you take me to the first page of the document?
The very first page.
Yes, please.
Okay. That's the first page.
Okay, so can you scroll down a little bit? Scroll down, I think, to there. Okay. So I wanted you to clarify a bit. If there's a specific reason why you brought the list of partnered hospitals before the table of contents, because I just wanted you to clarify that a little bit for us. Why the list of hospitals came before.
So there was no particular order in which I wrote it. I just felt like should they, like, nobody's really looking at the table of contents. Like, no, not really. But should they pick like your folder or your file? Like, at least they would like to see the hospitals that they're working without, like, from my perspective. But I'm not shooting down what you're saying. It could have gone under, like, before, after the content. But in my view, I was just thinking, like, like, when I pick the paper up, when I see the first page, I would like to, just go straight into it. But I think, that change can be made. It's not permanent. Like, it's a work in progress. So.
Okay. And also, I think it's the fourth or fifth page. Can you scroll down a little bit to the fourth or fifth?
Fourth. This is the fourth page.
This is the fourth page. Then can you scroll down? When I see it, I'm just going to notify you.
Is there like a particular subtopic?
Yeah, this is the eighth page. Can you go up a little bit? Yeah, I think there's an error in there that I wanted to notify you so you could correct.
The risk page, or?
No, I think it's the eighth page.
Okay.
That's the ninth. Yeah. Okay. So I think the fifth point, it states each participating bank in various locations deposit $500,000 in the escrow account. I think a correction should be made in there. I think it's actually $600,000 in the escrow account. That is it. And to add up, I just wanted to clarify. Did you mention, maybe I didn't hear it, did you mention of the e-signing vendor that you would be using in your project?
No, I didn't. No. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm taking all the notes and I'm going to infuse that. But no, I did not.
You didn't make mention of the e-signing vendor?
Yes.
Okay. What about the Equifax or the credit
Oh
score
yes, I
checking?
did.
You did mention that.
Yes, I did. It was yeah. So I said Equifax, FICO, and TransUnion would
Okay.
be used to verify the credit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And yeah, I like how vivid the document is. It's actually very informative, as my previous reviewer said. So it's very informative. You did very well in your presentation as well.
Thank you.
So you're so welcome. You're so welcome. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh.
And thanks for the feedback too. I would revise it and
No problem. No problem. No problem. Good job.
Hello, Penelope.
Hello, Daniel.
Yeah, I just want to commend you for your great project documents. I look at so many project documents that have been presented so far. Actually, you guys have developer experience, because I had a bit of experience as a developer. So when I see it being well detailed, well arranged, it's quite good. So it makes it very easy for anyone who is to work on it and
Thank you.
do that. And I only have one question. I just want to clear my misunderstanding. That's with the requirement section.
Yes.
If I scroll down to requirement section, and as I said, I just have little experience in development, but from my understanding of the requirement sections, that's where the team of developers go to when they are looking for what they are to do and how they are to build the application. And that's my understanding. I may be wrong. So if you can explain the requirement section.
Yeah, so
this document is forwarded to a team of developers.
Okay, yeah. So I like from my understanding, like I also don't have any like knowledge about it. It's like my very first time. So this is what I thought the requirements should entail. But after watching every presentation from yesterday, I just realized that it like I went off track. So this is yeah, this is like wrong. But initially, from my understanding, I just thought like the requirements are like what we need to do to get the application on track. So like we need to be consistent. We need to have a plan. We need to make sure that every plan is completed before we move to another thing. We need to prioritize. Like that's what I thought the requirement was. But watching and listening to everybody else, I realized that I did something completely different. So I actually spoke to Nana about it. I was like, oh, can I, redo everything again? Because like watching and listening to you guys, it just made me take some notes. So I'll say pay no attention to this because it's wrong. Yeah. So when I make changes, I'll let you know.
Okay, that's great. Once again, very excellent document, very excellent delivery. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, Penelope.
Hi, Reed.
Yeah, can I come again, please?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, pardon me for this, but I think you're going to enjoy it anyway. See, in your follow-up to one of the questions asked you, you said nobody actually takes a look at the table of content. Nobody actually does, right?
Yeah, my mistake.
Actually, the bosses, they do. Yeah, they are more interested in, they do not have time to read everything. Somebody like the executive sponsor wouldn't have time to read everything. So what I know that they do is they take a look at the table of content and they have certain areas they are looking for. They are looking for things or areas that touch directly on the objectives of the organization, and also things like cost, which I think I will also mention on. And I must say here, and as much as I'm actually questioning you, I'm questioning myself because some of these things I didn't provide myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So so they are looking at fine through the table of content. What and what should I go directly to read so that I can see some benefit, direct benefits to the organization. And then eventually, how much is going to cost the organization. Okay. When they go there and they see the content and they're satisfied, then of course they can pass it over to their in-house technical guys to consume and then come have discussions with them, that kind of stuff. So that is one thing. Then the next thing is I think, your content, just like I told somebody earlier, your content is rich. But when it comes, when it's actually typed this raw with bullets, bullets may not actually do a good job as compared to serializing your items, as in putting 1, 2, 3 numbers on them, as well as organizing them into tables. It makes for legibility, is easily readable, and it helps everybody actually. Then also the use of terminologies. I realized you used something like atomic. That's exactly what where we are, what we are seeing right now. That's requirements. You used atomic. So now, assuming a business person, a top business person in the organization, among the stakeholders sees atomic, you can actually kill his interest. So then you can complement the whole thing with a glossary that will best explain this atomic, as well as I also saw the use of the term Moscow. Yeah, so all these can actually feature in the glossary, which will then complement your document. Great. All these said, nonetheless, I'm delighted to be an audience to you. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so Penelope, it was a nice presentation.
Thank you, Sally.
Everything, there was a lot of information there, which I myself wish I had thought of. So with the credit score checkers, so you listed 3.
Yes.
And you said they will be able to choose. So does that mean they just choose one to use? As in there's an option to choose which credit agency they'll be using?
Yeah, so like over here, I mean, ABC would have all credit score into APIs integrated on their platform. So maybe they can choose to go with Equifax because they feel like Equifax is reliable. I just gave all 3 options. That way it doesn't, limit the borrower's prospects, because sometimes you could have like a good score on Equifax and then TransUnion is like something else altogether. So I just gave the stakeholder like several options. Like you can work with either 2 or 3. Because like I said, like sometimes you can have like a 650 on Equifax and then a 610 on TransUnion. And maybe if they had worked with Equifax, you could have gotten the procedure done, or you could have been funded. But because they were limited to a particular credit check, I mean the customer or the borrower will not be able to get the funds. So I just gave options basically, but they're not going to work with all of them. Maybe 2 out of the 3 or 1, whatever credit facility or credit bureau that ABC wants to work with, that's fine. But I don't want to limit them to, let's say, just Equifax. That's why I put all 3 in there.
Okay. I kind of get your point. So thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
Okay. Penelope.
Yes.
Yeah, the last one for me. Can I see your content again, the table of contents, before I ask my question?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so can you go to the wireframes aspect? I wanted to see the wireframes.
Yes, so I should have edited that. I took the wireframes out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, my mistake.
Okay.
Like I said, work in progress, guys. It's a work in progress.
No problem. Because when I went through the when I saw you scroll through the document, I didn't see the wireframes, so I just wanted to
Yes,
confirm.
I just took it out. It wasn't because I didn't do anything with it. I forgot to remove it from the content.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
That's fine.
Hello, can I come in?
Yes.
I think page 7, if I'm not wrong.
The what?
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by the way, this Emmanuel, yeah, page
Yeah.
7, level 7 of 13.
I'm on 7. Yeah, this page 10.
Yeah, can you scroll down? Scroll down. Yes. On the last point, the borrower may divide. Yes, the borrower, thank you. The borrower may divide payment into 6 equal installments over 6 months with no interest rates. Are you able to shed some more light on that? I don't know if it was part of the stakeholder elicitation, or I just want to understand it better.
Understand.
Kindly help me.
So during the last video call that we had, I asked Nana I asked the stakeholder what he wanted the platform to look like, and he gave me an example that he wanted the platform should look like Affirm or Klarna. And I did a little digging into Affirm and Klarna, and I realized that if they should fund you, or if they should give you, let's say, a loan amount of 6,000, you can make those payments in like 6 installments over. I just integrated 6 months, but usually it's like within 6 weeks over here, and they're not going to put any interest on that amount should you decide to make payments that way.
Okay, so okay, I get you now. So in your case, are you using a period of 6 months?
Pardon?
With no interest. Are you using a period of 6 months with no interest?
Your line is a little staticky. What would you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So in your case, are you using what you're telling us is that this is going to be spread over a period of 6 months. Is that correct?
Yeah. So like I said,
Okay.
we're not limiting the borrower should they like decide to make the payments within that time, within
be able to pay in installments if I'm right.
Yeah, in installments. So that's why I put down like the first installment down first month after procedure. So let's say we gave them $6,000 and they decide not to pay within 24 months. They can make $1,000 payment, and then we're not going to put in, charge them any interest because like the time period they're going to complete the payment is like relatively half of.
Okay. So to move into technicalities, and they give you money to give to your clients.
I cannot hear you.
Okay then.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Can you hear me now? So I want us to move a little into technicalities because you were given an amount, like you keep saying, like 6,000 cedis, and the lawyer wants to pay it off. And I see the 6 months as too much of a time because you have a business to run, you have an interest to pay. It's not as if the person is paying within a month or a week. 6 good months, and you still waiving off the interest rate. Then what becomes of the lender, and also even your profit margin as a servicer?
Okay, so like I said, I went strictly off what the stakeholder the last question that I asked the stakeholder. So he said he wanted the platform to be like Affirm or Klarna. And if you look into those applications, they have these payment options where they're going to give you the money for whatever it is you need to do, and you need to pay off like in like 6 weeks. I just manipulated data and information a little, and I put 10 what's it called? I put 6 months. So let's say it doesn't necessarily have to be 6,000. It could be 40,000. Maybe the customer has the money, you know. And let me just say this. So mostly when you make payments here, like sometimes a customer may have money to pay for something, but they choose to pay in installments because once they make those payments, it goes towards their credit score. So that's how come they're able to build the credit score to like 600, 700, 800. So I infuse this because pardon? What? I cannot hear you.
I think his line is really bad. We can't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
his line is really terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, it's I just wanted to give the borrower options. Like after the procedure, you can choose to make payments over 24 months, or you can choose to make payments over 6 months. Because like I said, some people have the money. Like the more you make the payment in installment, the more it builds your credit over here. So like after the first if you're able to make the payments within 6 months, like a lot of institutions don't take interest, like they don't collect interest on like any loan they give you. So should they give you a loan of 4,000, 3,000? If you're able to make it within like a short period of time, you know, they don't put any interest on it. And even if it's longer, let's say if you're supposed to pay within 24 months and you're able to pay it off in like 15 months, like the interest rate goes down. So I just use like that same concept. I should have been more,
Sure.
yes, explanatory.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks for the clarity. It's basically because of your exposure and where you are coming from. Perhaps, but in Ghana here, no one will give you that. So I think that's where I'm also coming from. So thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have been I should have explained it better. Yeah, so I'll do that next time.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Thanks for the clarity.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
So, Nana, I think we are done though.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. For those of you who are still yet to present, I'm trying to see maybe in the course of the week, we might do like a midweek session where I want to be able to take care of all the backlog that we have. If that, I'll look at my schedule. If not, we will still go ahead and take it maybe next week, so that all of you, the other guys who are yet to present, you guys will also get a turn on that. All right, thank you guys, and hope to see you all. I will let you guys know. I'll put something on the platform if we're gonna meet maybe Wednesday or Friday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll let you guys know. I'll give you guys an advance notice, like a heads up.
Okay.
I'll give you guys a heads up on that.
Okay.
So, yep, that's it. Thank you guys, and talk to you all soon. And then assignment. There's going to be an assignment. You guys should expect that in the course of the week. There's going to be something. So,
the episode of assignments were over.
Assignment is not over. We are just be warming up. We are just warming up with our assignments. We're just about to start.
It's great. It's great. Bring it on.
Nana, please, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, real quick, like 30 seconds, because some of us we have to hurry up and
Hello, Nana.
go to catch. Yeah, go ahead.
Nana Joshua here, if I can go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wanted to find out, in case maybe we have other presentations ahead on the church online platform, BRD. I want to find out if maybe because of this presentation, we learned new things. Can we make those changes in view of whatever presentation we have ahead, can we make changes to the document from the things we've learned from this presentation? Are we allowed?
You will only make changes to your next project, which is not a church project, right? For the one that I've already been training, that's it. You've already submitted it.
Okay.
If you want to revise it and then you keep it, you can do that, and keep it, for yourself, right?
Okay. But we have to present the one we submitted.
Yep. You will present the one that you submitted to me. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Nana, please, this is Emmanuel. I think in our earlier videos, you said something like we should provide our emails for the Jira tool.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know. We are almost we'll be starting with Agile very soon. Before we start the Agile sessions, I will ask for your email so that I'll provision your account in Jira.
All right, sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's it, guys.
Hello, Nana?
Yes. Go ahead. Who else has a question?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I remember. Let's read.
Okay.
It's something short. I remember before